didn't vote before are now like kind of because they're all feeling the pain. You know what I mean? The people that didn't vote before are still feeling the pain that has been created by the person in office. So we're hearing a lot of those people, those, what was it, 90 million or something that didn't come out and vote and could have in 2024. Um, I think it's going to be the biggest turnout in midterms in history, like by far. And yeah, and Leah, that's the thing is Musk said flat out he would be in jail if they knew what he did, and he said that on the campaign trail before it. They said, yeah, all you did was Flying Eagle. Dave has the power to do that. Dave shows up in a box and I'll get a banner, but you're fine. Flying Eagle liked the live, and as soon as he did that, I got a banner. No, you're good. You're good. You're good. It's yeah, it's going to happen anyway. I can't do anything about it. I just accepted the fact. But like Musk was talking before the election about, well, if Trump loses, I'm going to jail. Steve Bannon said that. Like I think Mike Lindell even said that. Who's running for governor of Missouri? The Hello Pillow guy, the My Pillow guy. He's running for governor. Oh, is it Missouri or Minnesota?
I remember hearing about that. He doesn't actually live in the state, does he?
Yeah, he didn't live in the state. He never voted in the state. He registered to vote in the state right before he announced he was running. It's like Donald Trump. Good to see you. Good to see you, brother. It's before Donald Trump ran, 9 months before he ran, he changed from a lifelong Democrat to a Republican. You know what I mean? He went from a lifelong of women's right to choose, including 12-year-olds' right to choose. I would say allegedly, but it's not alleged. But it's the hypocrisy knows no. You know, they bitch about mail-in voting, and every single one of them. It was mentioned in the chat earlier is all of the family votes by mail-in, and a couple of them have been voting in two different states too, from what I understand. Like they have two different addresses. Oh, did you hear Greg Abbott? This just came out for all of our Texas people in the chat. Greg Abbott just gave control over the finances of Texas to Huffines, the guy who owns Epstein's mansion in New Mexico. He's running for the position in Texas, but Abbott just gave him the thing anyway. Just like, here you go, before the midterms, just take it. So I need to know, and you guys can all do some research on this and see if you could find anything, is what exactly does that have to do with before the midterms? Don't forget what's going on at the Epstein Ranch, at the Zorro Ranch. As a reminder, the Zorro Ranch is the New Mexico, I think it was 15,000 acres. It was the one that showed up many, many times in the testimony, in the evidence, in the Epstein files. And it's one of those places where many, many of the girls have officially said that there are bodies buried, literally. Huffines, the guy who now owns it, bought it from Epstein's, swore he never met him, has filed it under a Christian children's camp. That's what he's building there, a Christian children's camp on literally the bones of children. So yeah. So why would he be given basically the position before the actual election to take over the books? Who knows? Yeah, New Mexico is investigating that exactly, Flying Eagle. And that's why I find it really, really interesting that right now Hot Wheels handed over the financial control to Huffines. Now, why would that if they're now coming very, very close. Oh, and apparently one of Epstein's buildings caught fire and burnt down, and we have no idea why. There, I don't know where it was. I saw a couple of different things. I went to investigate. I got there was a reported fire destroying one of Epstein's things on Google, and then it disappeared when I went back to find it. So who the hell knows? I don't know if this is why he owns all the media companies. Well, his friends do. This is why it's so important for Donald Trump to insert himself, even this much, in business deals with mergers of companies like HBO and CNN and all that other stuff when Netflix was going to buy them. And he got involved and he said the SEC would not approve this merger and would take the licenses away, basically made it impossible, which is not only against the Constitution, it's against every single damn thing this country's supposed to stand for. But it also shows the lengths that this man will go to complete his plan, which is giving the Ellisons, Larry, TikTok, and his son, Paramount Plus, the power to mold and shape every single media story that comes out.
Yeah. I'll ask you about the because I saw a video on TikTok saying that next week the elephants take over and they'll no more see people across the world. Is that correct?
What, next week that Paramount Plus is taking over?
No, that on TikTok, there'll be a new American TikTok. And essentially, we won't be able to see people in America and you won't be able to see us.
I believe this stuff when it happens. There's been way too much that was just very, there's we have to automatically put all this stuff through the bullshit filter. That's the important part. We've got to automatically put all this stuff through the Trump show bad screenwriting filter. If the White House comes out with some sort of announcement, you can be damn sure there's some form of scam or money or something going somewhere behind the scenes because of that announcement. If there's something out of nowhere that just all of a sudden gets brought up, you can be damn sure there's an investigation pertaining to that subject right around the corner, and someone just whispered in his ear, "Hey, boss, they're asking around about this stuff," like the ICC. And then when they do a press conference and the ICC is brought up by Marco Rubio and how evil the ICC is, and you have Dementia Don sitting there with all the shit in his head, all the stuff in his head that, things he knows he did wrong, that if they investigate, he's in trouble. And he also knows the trouble he could be in. He knows the penalties because he's spent his whole life avoiding penalties of his ramifications. So when you're looking at this whole entire show and you're seeing him one after another, just take it with a grain of salt, because everything that he started out as a speech that his people tried to put in place and make happen, like the ballroom and the 1.7 billion fund and it's all BS. Just like the ballroom, just like even the Supreme Court was like, no.
I was going to ask you about the ballroom because apparently he's now just been stopped again.
Exactly. That's why last time it was stopped, I was like, it's not over yet. They'll do a little and then they'll stop it again. What the courts that recognize what they've done, I guarantee you the Supreme Court, even the douche nuggets like Beer Boy Brett. I like beer. Beer's good. I love beer. I'll go home. I'll have a beer with CJ and remember all that bullshit. And see, I go again. At least I'm anyway. Even those people had, wow, maybe one day I'll be on the Supreme Court. And here they are. And they know what they're ruling against is illegal. That, like, they know what they should be ruling. Wasn't he ordered to put it back the way it was? And this is the thing, Flying Eagle, is there's all of these things are going to be shoved up his butt. They are.
I heard they were going to make him pay for it. I thought, oh yes,
Yeah.
that'll be good.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Even the Supreme Court, who said yes to the immunity thing for presidential immunity because presidential immunity is important, and because of all that, they got to watch where he took that. You know, they got to hear him say, well, they gave me immunity. I could do anything I want. And they were like, no, that's not what it meant. Even Brett Kavanaugh is there going, damn it, I spilled my beer. You know, it's there.
Yeah.
That's why you see them saying, come on, dude, we can't do that. No, we can't. No. Birthright citizenship is no, we can't do that. So he's like, all right, fine. I'll just change the requirements for birthright citizenship. So he changed the requirements that basically do what he was demanding be done anyway, but he doesn't get to do all of it. He gets to do some of it. And if that works, then he'll do another executive order and try and claim more until someone stops him. But someone will always be there to stop him. It just doesn't happen as fast as we want it to. And that's what I need to keep. Like, even the stuff I've been screaming the most about, the amount of soldiers that have been killed in this war, this excursion. I've been screaming. What was that?
Other people are starting to talk about that now.
Yeah.
I've noticed this week a lot more people.
Yeah, 4 months.
Oh my God.
4 months later.
Well, you always were ahead of the curve.
But it's the whole thing is, it's just logic. It's not anything, you know, it's just logic. It's paying attention and saying, here's the path. That's what's going to happen next. It's no secret. But we are hearing now from people in that hospital in Germany that shut down that first week after the first bombing. They shut down the delivery and maternity wards of the hospital just for, they said they had a worker at the hospital that was forced to sign an NDA after the fact, which is illegal. And they are specifically not allowed to discuss the number of injured and the number of dead. I told you guys a long time ago, as soon as the numbers started getting absolutely, had to have hit the thousands in the first week. I'm thinking the first week of this thing, there was well over 1,000 that were killed. That's what I'm thinking, because Iran has the Fifth Fleet Naval headquarters in Bahrain at 560 to 570 people just for that one. And they also blew up a whole bunch of other stuff that same day. So if you got almost 600, that hospital, what came out, the leaked information, was that first week, there were 600 dead in that hospital.
So why did we not see them being repatriated? That's what I'm trying to work out. How did they get them repatriated?
How did they get them when?
Repatriated, put back to America, and nobody said it.
There was a clip that was at a dignified transfer, and it was a big cargo plane, and there was like 20 or 30 covered captions, covered caskets. And it was supposed to be recent, and I saw it and I shared it and I went back to save it and it was gone. But there was a field of them. And yes, 6 Divine Mom. I worked that ramp and have friends there too. 600 caskets did not come through. Which one are you talking about? Here's the thing, Divine Miss. Here's the thing. All right. I have said from the beginning, that it is no way possible that the entire Fifth Fleet in Bahrain, the Navy Fifth Fleet, that is in charge of babysitting literally the entire Middle East during a high threat levels time period, which is when this started. There is no way on God's green earth that all of that complex, including $1.5 billion radar system that was also babysitting the entire Strait of Hormuz and all that other stuff. There is no way in hell that's vaporized in the middle of a business day and nobody died. I'm sorry, but there's no way in hell. And that week, the official numbers from the White House were 6. 6 people died. And I got sick to my stomach because the news were like, well, after the first week, the 6 people passed away, 6 soldiers, 6 heroes, 6. And now it's 13. It used to be 18, but 4 died right after he said, time out, so they don't count. Now, I'm sorry. There's no way in hell that 20 plus military bases and buildings, outposts, were vaporized or destroyed completely where no one can work in them, and 13 people died. There's no way. So when they say, I said, before the IRGC number came out, and they said, we estimated. How did they estimate it? Through surveillance of that unit, of that target, for weeks, if not months beforehand. When those targets are surveilled, they can guesstimate pretty closely how many people go in and out because it's under constant surveillance. So when the government, our government, is saying only 6 people died, and we have proof, evidence, they say the Fifth Fleet was attacked, blah, blah, blah. If the Fifth Fleet headquarters was attacked in any hour of any day, there will be more than 6 people in those buildings. Period. End of discussion. But those 6 people weren't even attributed to that. So any defense or any of the IRGC, it's all fake. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's a better estimate, and it's closer to the truth than what we are getting from our White House. That is a fact. So if anyone differentiates from that, no, they said 13 people died. I will look you in the eye, tell you you're full of crap, or you're the most gullible person on earth. And I will remind you, how many people do you think? Here's the thing. That's if they allowed them to come back. They've had to close down places because they don't have any room for anyone else.
Wow.
At this point, Dolphin, I believe I ran over our government too. 100%. I run it through the filters. If it's not logical, I look deeper. But the bottom line is, logically speaking, not a word that they said or Pete Kegg's breath has said about this war, this excursion. They wouldn't even call it a freaking war. Come on. And how many Navy ships supposedly got 408 is a better estimate for casualties in that one location? That's a better estimate for casualties. The last of the 5 months is a hell of a lot more. Our troops are in hotels. That's my point. They were sent to hotels because their places got bombed to shit and there was nothing left. They couldn't operate because Iran also put out a statement early on to the hotels saying, if you are housing U.S. military or affiliates for military purposes, your hotel is now a target. And they kicked them out, most of them. That is a fact.
Would you mind if I invited the divine Miss Emma? I'd be interested to see what they have to say.
It's the whole thing is, you do know casualties in the military, hold on, mean hurt and dead, right? Killed in action, are you saying is the same classification as someone who's injured? Everything goes through Ramstein. Them shutting down the labor and happened off. So what's your purpose of this whole thing in the chat, Divine Miss, is to say that there are only 13 dead in this war? Is that what you're defending? No, I mean, that's what I need to, that's what I just need to wrap my head around.
Yeah, me too.
You know, it's like, all due respect, I want to know where your head's at on that. Hi, how you doing? Hello, hello.
Do you need my age and everything? How do you work it here, hon?
Hi, how are you? You can know, you just you know, I'm Mike, that's Anna. Nice to meet you. How are you?
Likewise. Yeah, I'm not really defending anything. I'm just
Hey.
kind of cleaning up some misinformation. So I work the Ramstein ramp that you're talking about, Ramstein, where the hospital is launched to.
Oh, on
Those are all the
in
names you'll
Germany?
see in the news.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, and one of my godkids is there right now.
Oh,
on a
okay,
short
cool.
tour.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's why I kind of say, like, I work the C-17 area where all of these people come through.
Good.
You can't hide that kind of a thing. Like, that kind of a thing, you would have heard troops coming out. You would have heard everybody coming out.
Yeah.
The issue here is that a lot of people get confused casualties. There are over 600 casualties because people got fucked up in those bombings.
Oh God, yeah, absolutely.
They really did.
Absolutely.
And so that's why I say, like, when you hear casualties, you got to kind of like stop and go, okay, are we talking about hurt people, or are we talking about like actually like unalive, no longer with us? And I think that's where a lot of the confusion's coming from.
Right.
And yes, pretty much if they were unalived, they go straight to Ramstein for packing and ice, and then they go to Dover, which is where mortuary affairs is
Now,
for the military.
now,
That's where you see all of the dignified transfers is at Dover Air Base.
right. That's what right. Now you're saying you have you have family that's working there currently. Were they
Yeah.
made to sign NDAs?
No, they're active duty.
All right, they're active duty. Well, there's over, I think they said over 3 million, including people around those hospitals at certain positions, were made to sign NDAs to make sure they.
Oh, honey, there's some background noise and I can barely hear you.
Like some water going in.
What's that?
It sounds like water is being poured.
I have a
Yeah,
fan
it's
on. I have a fan on, but that's about it. But my
that's
question,
weird.
my question is that better? Is that permanently
Yeah, that's a
affected by
little
this war?
better. Can you say all that again? I missed all of that.
Well, my if I can remember, my question is when it comes to believing what's coming out of the White House and everything they've done, there's been 22, 23, the actual bases in the Middle East. There was 18, 19 full on bases, if somewhere around that area. And then there's little tiny like outpost type of operations, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. It's my understanding I do get a lot from IRGC and from their stuff like that, but different types of people around that. Middle East Observer, the Kiev Independent, stuff like that, the Jerusalem Post. You know, I don't really rely on American media anymore, really, for anything. It drove.
Just rely on our media.
Well, it's our media is just it's not even our media. It's Trump says it himself. It's Trump media. It lost its credibility a long time ago. There's very few that I'll listen to at this point. But when it comes to flat out logic and things, I don't assume that my assumption. I know what my assumptions are and my educated guesses are, going by all the other stuff I get from all the other papers and sources outside of the United States. But when you have to go to that extent to get something even close to a logical number, and at the same time, there's 3 million people in the federal government that is now orders to work under NDAs, very strict NDAs. And on top of that, if you're caught using a VPN to get information from other countries, you're put on a Homeland Security terror watch list. And if things like that, when I'm looking at the big picture, I'm like, okay, you're not allowed to get satellite images from anything in the Middle East anymore because, and you get BBC and Sky News being told you can only do what's approved by the United States government. And when all that happens at the same time, I'm going to sincerely doubt the number of a dozen to 20 killed in action when 24 American places have been blown to smithereens. I just can't wrap my head around that that's anywhere close to true.
No, and I'm not not faulting you for that at all, because I'm doing the same thing even with the knowledge that I have, because I'll sit there and listen to Dan Kane and Pete Hexa talk at their, like, when they used to do the weekly briefings,
Right.
and I'm like, that's a load of fucking horse shit. Like, I mean, you know, you can't trust what's coming out of the White House these days. I completely fucking agree.
Not at
Now,
all.
is the number of unalived closer to more like 50? I wouldn't doubt that at all. I would not.
I can't.
I just worry that because a lot of these, and let me say why I'm hard on correcting some things like this.
Yeah.
And this is no fault against y'all.
No,
Like,
that's
I don't
fine.
think y'all are evil or horrible or nothing. I just, because I do it to my own best friends. So please don't think there's any ill will.
You're all good. You're all good.
But the thing is that, so what a lot of people don't know is that when you are deployed, a lot of these bases are under comms lockdown, which means you can't email home, you can't call home, nothing. It's normally for a short period of time when missiles are flying, shit like that, right? So what a lot of people do if they have family back home, and I've seen this and had to console my own like friends because of this, they'll see these reports or they'll be on TikTok and in the debate spaces, not debating, but just kind of listening.
Right.
And they'll hear this 600 number thrown around, and all of a sudden I get a call from somebody's mama who's like, I can't talk to my baby. Is my baby one of the 600? And I'm like, girl, look, he told you a week ago they were going on comms lockdown. He can't call your mamas. Like, I know you're scared and you're worried, but this is what's going through the minds of family members.
Of course.
So, like, when we talk about, like, these huge numbers and things like that, like, I just kind of want to temper it just so we're not getting family members that are terrified back home.
Right.
When there are things that we can prove, like Eric in the chat was just talking about the USS Lincoln.
Right.
And that whole strike group is being fucked over now.
Well, they
haven't
all
been to
are.
resupply.
Yeah.
They've got shitty fucking bathroom stalls. They don't have areas to wash their clothes.
Yep.
Like, I would rather focus on the things that we can prove to ask for change, because I know that's what y'all's thing here is. You want to just raise the awareness and you want things to change and things like that. Like, that's all we really want, right? But I just worry about like this 600 number is causing a lot of people a lot of strife. So like, if we can't really prove it, I try to like stay away from it and try to kind of like temper it.
Well, I would I would be open to that flexibility if I didn't see the things I hear at 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I follow up on and it disappears. And then 2 months later, there's all this evidence that this actually happened. You know, stuff there's so much being scrubbed so quickly off the internet that firsthand, Anna and I did a little experiment where we both looked up the same exact thing on Google and we got two completely different answers when it came to United States military stuff. And it's things like that. If there was 1 week and it was just the debate over 600 being that 1 week and it included the Fifth Fleet Naval Headquarters in Bahrain, I'd be like, okay, I can sit on 600 as a safe. We'll find out eventually. I can sit on that as a possibility if that's all there was. But we're talking 5 months of bases just being hit and hit and hit. And I'm not here to scare anybody or anything, but there is going to be a time when families may be very surprised when, you know, they find out they've been lied about something for 2-3 months, because there's no way in God's green earth, even like that 600 number that came out was supposed to be that first week or two, I think, in that hospital. I believe that was the pretense of it when that came out with the leak or whatever BS. And the reason I brought it up is because I'm trying to show that with the Iranian numbers of 540, 560 from that attack alone, isn't to say that's how many people died there. But when the numbers didn't move and that was basically gone in a heartbeat, and the numbers stayed at 6 and they didn't even mention anyone getting injured there, I called bullshit right away. And I've been screaming it all the way ever since. And then as you're hearing, this one blew up and this one and this one. And then there were 3 or 4 potential Navy ships that were, you know, that allegedly, again, there's no way of telling if that's true or not, but that's a pretty big Okay, all right, Pete, I'll believe you. All right, Donnie, all right, you're telling me the truth. You look me in the eye. I'm not gonna. I can't be okay with that, and I can't just out of fear to make someone not freak someone out. I'd be much more upset knowing that my child's on the USS Lincoln and had one slice of meat and a friggin' and can't, I'd be really pissed when I just found out that Pete Kegsbreath spent $93 billion in 5 days last year. And there's not enough money to feed my children.
Yeah.
That's the type of
they bought. It made me fucking sick.
It
But this
will-
is how
yeah.
like the little things get blown out of proportion.
Absolutely.
So like I said, I've got family out at Ramstein,
right.
and so when they shut down the labor and delivery, like I texted my godson and I was like, "Hey, bro, I said they're doing shit at the hospital again. I said it's just like old times." He's like, "Oh yeah," and he sent me a copy of the letter because
Wow.
his wife, goes to the OBGYNs on the clinic there.
Right.
That's where their base housing is
Right.
on Launchstool. And the letter said that they were not closing it completely down. This is from the labor and delivery clinic. That any woman that was over a certain amount of weeks, like AKA, like if you've ever been around anybody pregnant,
Yeah.
the babies come when they want to.
Oh yeah,
3,
absolutely.
4, 5 weeks early, it don't matter.
I'm a single dad. I'm
So
with you.
what they'll do, and so what they did is they told all the women who were in that criteria, like I can't remember the exact date, but we'll say from like 35, 32
Right.
weeks on, right?
Right.
They told all of them, look, here's local providers that we recommend. They've worked with American clients before, so they're going to follow you up on the rest of the
Right.
thing. They didn't even shut down all of labor and delivery. Now, they have in the past during OEF, OIF, they shut all down because first and foremost, that's a military hospital.
Right.
They just, in times of peace, they'll take all the civilians and get them
Absolutely.
through as quickly as they can, being in Germany and all that with the language barrier.
Right.
But yeah, like, and that week when it first came out was everybody was saying, they closed the whole delivery center. It's filled with unalive bodies. It's an ICU. And I was like, but here's the letter. And
Right.
like, people were like, that's not real. I'm like, but it came directly from the hospital. Like, it just gets so wild how we play these
Yep.
telephone games.
Well, no, I get, and it's very important to differentiate what could be an assumption and what's not, and what could be fact and what could be fiction. But it's like I was raised around a law office, so I was raised, looking at the words as they're written and going, okay, where's the flexibility in that? Where can somebody still say that sentence is true and really not do what that sentence, says they're doing? And as you're telling me that, the first thing, my brain goes in 10 different directions, and I try and see what's, if there's anything else that supports one of those directions. It's kind of part of my process. But like with that stuff, it directs them to other procedures. If you're under a certain gate, it protects them from all the procedures. First thing pops in and goes, okay, so they obviously need some of it, if not a majority of it. If they're only taking 30 something weeks up, they're cutting off 2/3 of the people that may show up there. Okay, so we got that. So they need a little bit of space for that. Now, are they doing those? Are they moving machinery to another part of the hospital? Is there another procedure they have those particular women go to that can be? So two things could be true in my mind at once. They could have shut down the entire labor and delivery wing with that letter if they're doing those procedures in another part of the hospital. There's like, that's how my brain goes. You know what I mean?
They needed some space, but that letter is basically a CYA by the hospital to
Right.
say,
Exactly.
if they get a huge influx of soldiers and they can't care for them,
Exactly.
nobody can say, well, where
Yes.
were the rest of your doctors? You have X amount of thousands of doctors on staff at that hospital. I've
Right.
been there for many times. That
Oh,
hospital
yeah.
is fucking huge.
Oh yeah. And,
But and I know exactly, like,
but you know what I
don't-
mean by
don't know
that,
anything
right?
About law. I don't even play one on TV, but I'm ADHD as fuck, and I'm an aircraft mechanic, so I'm
Oh,
used
wonderful.
to like suction down fault. So I do the same thing. Like, what else were they saying in this letter? Especially
Exactly.
from the military.
Oh,
that
God,
don't
yeah.
speak. It's so bad.
Oh, and you mix in Trump and all his people, and they're, I mean, like if you read that letter that Todd Blanche wrote, the settlement letter for the $10 billion thing, everyone focused on the IRS aspect of it, and it was like, immunizing him and his family from the IRS. But there's a whole nother sentence that basically says they are always basically protected against any agencies, investigations, prosecutions, blah, blah, blah. So it's like, it's not the IRS. That's just one little part. And it's just one little letter, one little sentence that if you don't analyze it, it doesn't seem like it would be a big deal. It's like, no, that's bigger than the slush fund. So when I hear that letter, I'm like, all right, written by the government, run by these dirtbags. Yeah, I can see a lot of windows to where that whole hospital could be closed down and that letter would still apply. You know what I mean? Well, we've got the room right there. You're fine. There's only 50 of you. You know what I mean? That's
I mean, you got to think like OBGYNs also can fill in a pinch in
exactly
general surgery because they have to go through that before they specialize. I only know that because my ex-husband's aunt is an OBGYN.
Right.
And like I was fascinated with being a doctor at the time. So I was asking all these questions about school and stuff.
Yeah.
And so, do they need more hands on? Like, that's what I was thinking. I was like, okay, so yeah, they could go into labor at any time and you may not be able to help. And so, yeah, you're doing that for the mother of the baby. And of course, let's protect the pregnant mothers, of course. But what are those docs doing in the meantime? Like that always runs in the back of your head.
Yeah, my mom's a retired nurse, so I'm very. She told me she became a nurse because I hurt myself so drastically and so often it just made things easier. But I grew up in that world and then the lawyer on the other side. So I'm really messed in the head with overanalyzing stuff. It seems like the pattern of information. When the what was it? The Qatar base got destroyed. We heard it got destroyed, and then we'd see like one leaked video of a whole bunch blown up, and then we see the big, huge tent where thousands of met up and ate and danced and karaoke and all that, and then we see the after of the bombing of that same tent, and it's like, but nobody died. It's like, oh, shut the hell up. Just stop. And every time I see someone on mainstream media saying, well, only 13 people, I want to just scream. I'm like, why don't you say, well, Trump says only 13 people died? Because there's no one in there with any bit of logic, any modicum of intelligence that would go, oh yeah, all these places were vaporized, but no one died. Cool. It's like, just that falls under like what you were first saying about, there's just too much misinformation out there. It's got to be, that's just where I come from on this. And Anna's been, does it?
You shouldn't have to, especially because you got to think that is a majority of our tax dollars,
right?
The military-industrial complex. So
right.
And I've had this discussion with a lot of my friends on this app about this. Is where is the line of military transparency, because that is our tax dollars and that is our sons and daughters and cousins and our family members, but at the same time, how do you keep things under wraps so that in this day of an age of instant reporting, that the enemy doesn't know like where to target? Because if we report strikes here, X amount unalived at this base, now like you were saying earlier with the different spying and everything that everybody does on each other, because that's a cool thing to do with your friends these days.
Yeah, exactly.
They know how many are at that base, so they know how many have been taken off and how many have been hurt. Then they know that there's weaknesses in this area, in this area, in this area. So it's like this is a conversation we all should be having.
Exactly.
We all wanted to be more transparent, but then again, like, where is the line?
Yeah.
But we shouldn't have to delve deep and become all private investigators just to know what's going on with our own country. That shouldn't be this way. And whenever they took that, the fairness doctrine down,
right?
I was like, that's the end. Wrap it up, folks.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Well, that's what stresses the importance of independent journalism too. I mean, I get very curious, and I've got like 4,000-ish pages of Epstein files all categorized out in different folders and different rabbit holes. And I'll find something that I found a couple of months ago. I'm like, why does that sound familiar? And I'll be, I know it's in here somewhere. And I'll go through this many and to find one piece of paper and go, ha ha ha, it fits together. And that'll open a whole nother book of stuff that I didn't even know was connected. And we'll find out more pieces of the puzzle, but and a lot of, if you've seen some of my videos in the past, many of them I'm talking about the numbers and the secrecy and, like you said, no communications and stuff like that. There's a lot behind that. There's the people on those ships. How many ships were really sunk? I know there's been at least 2 that I've confirmed from different sources, but the names of the ships are, everything's kind of like, well, could have been the Lincoln been hit, and was the Lincoln the plumbing problem, or did it get bombed, or there's so many different sides of it that have question marks. We can't think that all these American ships were reported to have been hit in the Strait, and the only one who doesn't say anything is Pete Hegseth and Donald Trump, when the families wouldn't know because they're under communications lockdown anyway. You know what I mean? So it comes.
I think there is. I want to say there's a maximum time that they can keep it from the family. I know they tend to keep it out of the media for 48 hours so that they can alert the family. But
Yeah.
I want to say somewhere like buried in the regulations, there's an amount of time before they have to inform the family. Like for national security, I hate that phrase these days. For national security reasons, they can hold like the notification
Right,
of
right,
someone's
right.
unalivement.
Well,
But I don't remember what the time frame is that they have to inform the family.
but that goes into them following laws to begin with and following the Constitution to begin with. That's where it gets really messy in my head, and I get pissed off for the military families because I'm like, it's horrifying. I couldn't even imagine the horror of this, of being not hearing from them for months and months, hearing all these, like you said, 600 in the first, and hearing all these things and not knowing what's true. I can understand the freak out, but when you're in a spot where it's automatically set up to keep you in the dark, it's easy to keep you darker. So those regulations, as well, they're supposed to within a week or whatever it is, they don't care. They don't care. There's no trans.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're bending those rules like they're made of like silly putty at this point.
Yeah. And that's the key. But that's what we need to keep in mind when we're like, no, it's fine. Only 13 people died. It's like bullshit. Bullshit. Every time. And then I hear like months later, well, it's kind of, do you really think it's only this much? It's like, why weren't you asking that question week one? Why? It's like the election. Anna and I have talked about the election numbers since election night. I did a 9-hour live that night, and I've been saying the same thing since day one. And it took months and months and months to hear the first, even independent journalists go, those numbers were just, no, people said the math ain't mathin', but that's where it stopped. Media was like silent. And then Election Truth Alliance and all this other stuff, proof. And then it's like, oh, well, yeah, well, the numbers seem to be off. It's like, really, genius? It took you that long to figure it out? There's record numbers of registration and 15 million less people voted. That should be enough for you to say something was funky. This is the same thing to me.
That's the thing about that is meanwhile, I like the way that the Constitution does it. It leaves the voting to the states because each state has their own kind of independent, like some are more urban, some are more rural, and you need different voting rules for each. Like right now, like I grew up in the South, but right now I'm in Washington State, and we do mail-in only up here. Like that's all we have. And yeah, and so and I know, so ours takes forever to count because they don't even start counting until the like 8 o'clock that night. But then you've got like another state with just being crazy, and it's like, okay, do I know the laws in that state? Like, do they start counting in the morning? Do they start counting at night? And like, these are the discussions we've had like for years.
Yeah.
Is why does that look fishy? Okay, now I've got to be some kind of election like scholar to know like all of the laws in that state and how they do it and when they start. And it's like it shouldn't be this difficult, but at the same time, it's like, well, fuck, what else is there? I don't know.
Well,
Can I ask you a question? Before taking off the total of people unalived, how did you feel about that? Because Trump said he took it off because it was in peacetime. As a military person, I'd just love to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah.
So I've never heard the president get involved with how that number is counted before. First and foremost, that was really fucking weird. Whether it's designated a conflict or a war doesn't change what's going on the ground. It's still the same shit every day.
Right.
And for them to like draw this petty ass line of like, oh, well, we were in a truce. Okay, like shit was still flying, whether there was a truce on paper or not. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like it's the shadiest thing because, and this is what I explained to a couple of my civilian friends on here because everybody's like, well, why are you guys all riled up? And because it's a room where a lot of veterans hang out, and it's like solely a debate space. And every single, like, left, right, both sides of the aisle veterans came up hollering that day that was announced.
Right.
We were all hot.
Of course.
Everybody was like, all the civilians were like, what does it matter? Like, not to be mean, but like, what does it matter?
It matters a lot.
Well, here's the deal. A lot of times, if it's during a conflict, you will get posthumously given another rank, which means more benefits for your family because some things are paid out on what your rank was.
Yes.
To the family in the U.S. And so that could mean less benefits for them. There's a lot of extra benefits that come from a KIA versus like a training accident. It shouldn't be that way, but it is. And so with them saying, oh, well, you were unalive during peacetime because there was a truce is like, you're actively like taking shit from the families, which is just unfucking cool to the, like, without getting a banana, like, it makes me so mad. Like, I just want to cuss and scream. Like, it's ridiculous.
That was, I did a couple of videos about that specific thing. And for someone who claims to be so veteran friendly, and I did a video specifically to Republicans. I was like, all right, listen, this was going out to all the veteran loving Republicans that just swear Donnie Darko is, is Captain Bone Spurs, really loves the veterans. And that was, I hit that as a, go ahead, feel free to explain. And there just the it's not just the ignorance of, well, it was peacetime. Is his excuse was, well, I said ceasefire. It's like, I said timeout, and it's like, dude, that's not how it freaking works. If they're in a war zone, they're at war. I don't care if you call it a picnic, they're at war. And I didn't know how deep the benefits went, but I knew about the posthumous, leveling up, so to speak, the giving the level above, but just the killed and active, the KIA benefits, that alone, it took like what, 3/4 of the benefits off the table when he just reclassified, didn't he?
3/4 of it, but I mean, it's like 100 G's. Like, I think is like extra benefits because it's like added on for like kids' college.
Yeah.
And I forget what all it is, but I mean, it's substantial because for a lot of families, especially if you're a lower ranking or just came off of a long tour overseas, a lot of spouses can't work because of the constant moving around. So that is their only source of income.
Yeah.
So when a service member unalives, like out of nowhere like that, like, I bet you, and this is one thing that I've said for a while, this is the best way to put it, I think. If you had to pay $1 million for every serviceman that was unalived, I bet you they'd rethink real fucking quick how quickly we went to war.
Absolutely
because
right.
That is what a service member is worth. You've got to think, especially with kids, that you're sometimes the sole provider of the family, thrust in the middle of nowhere, and then all that paperwork they have to do. Like, I bet you they think real quick about all these conflicts we get into if they had to pay out $1 million per soldier.
Or if they had to send their own kids to war. What was that, Anna?
I was asking, I heard, correct me if I'm not right, that if they're not killed, unalived, in a war, then they don't have the right to be buried at Arlington. Is that correct?
I believe Arlington is just for during wartime. I forget exactly what all the rules are for Arlington, but because of the limited space, like, it's very strict rules.
So these 4 people that were taken off the list, they don't have that right to be buried there. Is that correct?
Probably.
Off the top of my head, I honestly don't know. I would have to look it up.
Now, Divine, I noticed something while I was doing one of my videos about this subject, the 4 of them, and how ridiculous it was. I went back on to Google to confirm this stuff, because not that Google's any diehard fact finding anymore, but they said there were 3 military members killed in Jordan. They even downgraded the number on Google. They said there were only 3. I don't know if it's still like that, but when I did the video, it was 3, and I printed it out. And I was like, wait a second, 3? I'm like, where the hell why was this person deleted from Google? I mean, 4 is the number. 4 is, I don't believe that number either. I kind of think there was probably more than that, but when they say they blew up an entire military base, I can't wrap my head around that either no one died or only 1 or 2 people died. I just can't wrap my head around that. It makes no sense to me. I've never walked into a military base and only seen 1 or 2 people in a room. You know, it
depends on what the structures are made out of.
Yeah.
Because a lot of those bases, you've got to think, have been there for, God, 30 years, probably, at least 20, 25. So a lot of them have been hardened over time, especially with like the added threats from different countries as they get their own new, spicy toys to play with. So it depends on what the structure was made out of, whether I'd believe if everybody was gone if they got hit. And like some of these are like drones that are hitting them.
Right.
So I don't know. There's a lot of questions to be asked.
Right.
But at the same time, like, I wouldn't immediately think because the structures are destroyed that everybody was unalive.
Right. I just find it hard. I just find it hard to believe that nobody, I've never been in a military, like active duty, any type of base or anything else where there wasn't just a crap ton of people everywhere. It's like there's people everywhere you look. It's not like you can look and go, where's everybody? It's like,
oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
About on the news, those are heavily staffed. Like if you hear that there's only 10,000 soldiers on a base in that area, that means it's a small fucking base.
Yeah, but that's still 10,000.
We have one base out there that's just for like R&R. Like it's got a nice pool and like all kinds of stuff. And so people, like guys, when I was in, people would leave Iraq and Afghanistan for a couple of weeks and go to Qatar and hang out for 2 weeks on vacation, just like get out of the mindset, rest up, eat good, relax for a little bit, and then go right back into it because they were doing year-long deployments at the time.
Wow.
And so, yeah, some of those bases are fucking huge and full of people. But some of them were, I know there was one in Jordan and one in Kuwait.
Right.
Where they had evac'd a lot of people ahead of time. So it was minimum personnel only. But I think those were like the smaller bases that they evac'd those people from.
What was the one that... Go ahead, Anna. I'm sorry.
If I may. Going back to the only 3 being named on Google, I saw an interview with the widow of the spouse of the person that was not named. And
interesting.
She was told by the White House that it was a mistake and it would be corrected. It hasn't as yet, but they asked her how does she feel, and she was just in a mess. Her spouse name was just, and I'd imagine when you've lost somebody, not to have them named or be appreciated must be really hard.
Yeah, so Google's like a repository. It's just scouring the internet for things.
Right.
So it's probably getting that number directly from the White House's feed, which is like we discussed, like that's their number.
Right.
So I wouldn't really blame Google for that. I would partially, like 25%, because they should be higher. But and that's the problem with this. And I think it was Schmidt, Herman Schmidt is the one you're talking about. I saw an interview that she did on this, and it was just devastating. It's like, what the fuck was this for?
Yeah, exactly.
Gut-wrenching on gut-wrenching. Like, why are you going to kick a woman while she's already down? But, yeah, this is just like the petty little games that they're playing is just crazy. Like we didn't bomb Iran while we had people sitting at a negotiating table. Like, come the fuck on. Like, stuff's still flying back and forth. Doesn't matter what you're putting on paper right now.
No. Well, I mean, go ahead, Anna. I'm sorry.
I couldn't believe they were in Geneva on that day, on the Friday. They were having negotiations with Geneva. Jared was across there, and the other guy, I can't remember his name.
No,
And
Rico.
everything was positive. And that night, they stopped bombing them. Just to me, didn't make sense.
Well, I mean, he had to leave a little bit of time so his son could buy $50 million in stocks and they could place poly market bets and all that other stuff. So it couldn't be right away. And Jared had to get back in time to tell Daddy that they said no and there was no deal and no, there's no choice. We got to bomb them, even though Iran in front of everybody said, we will give up all of our nukes and we will promise and we will do this, you know, which they didn't have any nukes to begin with. But they basically agreed to everything. And yeah, all of that.
It just seems strange to me that they were in Geneva all day negotiating. In the evening, they start to bomb.
Unreal.
Were you surprised when you heard it?
Not at all. Not at all.
It's
That's our socialist government.
it's Trump. Not just the government, it's Trump style government. That's a whole different world of bullshit. I know the government's got its own, but man, I always wondered, is your family that's over there, are they like, do they think this is like, well, we're glad we're here, or do they like, we don't know what the hell this guy is thinking?
Oh, fuck no. It's hilarious because before they shipped out, like, because I just moved back to Washington and when it was I'm real close to one of the guys that I served with when his kids were little. Like, she was like the one that deployed. She's 9 and her younger brother's 7.
Right.
And so hanging out with them again, it's like we're literally like feeling this weird wave of like deja vu because it's like 2004 all over again. Like, nobody knows why the fuck we're there. Nobody knows how the fuck we're gonna get out.
Yep.
We're constantly being lied to.
Yep.
And it's just like pure patriotic bullshit, screaming eagle, you know, wave the flag being shoved down your throat, or else you're a traitor. Like,
Yeah.
it's the weirdest like thing. You can't question why we're going to war, or else you're a traitor to the nation. It's the same shit. I know you guys, like, I mean, I'm not going to ask your age out of respect, but I know you guys clearly remember 04.
Oh, God, yeah.
Shit that
Absolutely.
and I fell for it the first time.
Yeah.
But I've seen this fucking film before.
Yeah.
I did not like the ending the first time around. And so, like, whenever, like, one of them's in Europe and the other one's downrange, and whenever they both call back, they're like, do you remember it being like this? This is fucking bullshit. I was like, honey, I'm in the middle of doing laundry. I'm going to set the phone down. Just get it off your chest. Because you're saying the same shit me and your daddy did back in the day when we were sitting on that same motherfucking flight line, just wearing different colored fatigues.
Right. Different color
Like,
fatigues.
I said, I'm just going to let you rain. I'm going to put you on speakerphone.
There you
I'll be
go.
on mute.
There you
And
go.
like, she let it fucking rip, like,
Of
from the
course.
soul. She was like, fuck this, fuck that, fuck everybody's mama. Like, it was so bad. And I was just like, that's it.
See-
Shit ain't changed, sadly.
I think there's 2 things just from that. Number one, I need to say, and I'm going to go on record, Anna, if I curse that much with my accent, I'd have banners. But because she's got that whole Southern thing going on, they're just letting it all slide. I haven't gotten any banners. So I don't know what that proves, but
Smart. Like, even when I host, I never get hit. But like, my best friends on this app will host, and they could be joking.
yeah.
Like, somebody had a pen close to their mouth and they got hit with a warning at the bottom. It's so weird how the algorithm punches some people and lets everybody fly. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to curse them.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I love the accent too. I've got 2 of my favorite accents. I got England and Southern. So where are you from originally?
I'm originally from Louisiana.
Oh, there you go. I got my grandfather's from Nolens, originally from Nolens. That's where my mom and dad met. I used to go down to Slidell and Metairie for Jazz Fest, and I love it down there. I miss it down there. It's beautiful.
Oh, I know Slidell? Well, one of my mom's high school besties ended up getting married and moving out there. And then I've got my uncle right outside of New Orleans in LaPlace.
Oh,
And
there
so
you
we
go.
would swing by and see her every time that we went, because it's like a 4-hour drive from where I'm from. I'm more like central Louisiana.
Oh,
Near
nice.
like Alexandria and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And
Very,
so
I'm
every time we
familiar.
went down to see my uncle, we'd swing by and see her and make the loop. And
Very nice, very nice. I was trying to guess in my head, but that's a dangerous game these days. So but I want to thank you very much, and you're welcome up on I do a bunch of lives, just Revolution Washington lives as well. We do this show, the Across the Pond, on Wednesdays and Saturdays. And anytime, you're absolutely welcome up, and appreciate your
I
input.
was scrolling by and saw you guys and liked what I heard and was going to come in and was hanging out for a while. But yeah, WFYP, met some new buddies today.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. And Anna, any other questions? I'm grateful. This is we have direct information here. This is fantastic.
That's what, know the answer, but what's the morale? Oh, she's gone.
It's oh yes, yeah. Follow Divine Miss M, and still here. How are people? What were you going to ask? The morale of what?
What is the morale like of the soldiers? I mean, are they totally pissed off, or like I say that?
Morale sucks.
And angry, or are they patriotic and think we're doing our bit?
It's morale sucks over there right now. She said morale sucks over there right now. There's, that's the thing that's where the logic has to come back in. She's saying, right in the beginning, oh wait, hold on. I think here she comes.
Oh, one thing that the troops always love, and I can DM you some companies and
Yes,
some
please.
links, is they did it back when I was doing it, and they're still doing it. Is like companies like Starbucks and stuff will send boxes of coffee and stuff for the troops, fruit snacks and things like that. And then there's women like spouses groups that will get together and like pack with like little soaps and razors and toothbrushes and toothpaste and little groups like that. So you can I can send you links. You can either if you want to like help out, you can either donate to those groups, and they get like little packages every month to pretty much everybody that's downrange gets one.
Oh, that's cool.
Or you can find a local group near you that packs them up. But yeah, that's one of the biggest things that the troops really do like is those little packages from home, like whether it be coffee or beef jerky, like just a little slice of home.
Absolutely.
They love that shit.
And I did want to also let you know that one of the things that Anna and I were working on, my main account had like 100 and something thousand followers, and it was rocking and rolling, and I got banned, and then my second account got banned. This is cat number 4 in 6 months. So I've been pissing them off from the get-go. But one of the things we're working on is we've got a couple of different groups. One is for autistic children to offer some form of regularity in an online community. So when the government takes away all the stuff from special education, and we've been working on this for quite a while now. Anything we see Trump administration going after, we're seeing if we could put something together to try and help in any way, shape, or form. Another one is for abused women. And the other one that we're very, very, very excited about is for veterans. And we're trying to put together something to help, either resources or something like that for veterans, and possibly either medical stuff and scans and all these different little elements that veterans are going to be facing more and more difficulty in because of all the cuts. So if there's, once we get a little more put together, you have any suggestions on that, please, keep in mind, we are trying to make it as good as we can with what we had. Lost a lot of the power with the big account, but we're building it back up, and we've got other platforms going. But I did want to put that out there as well, because we do want, as many people involved in this as we can get. So
I'll send you some links for the groups that I have, and you can just add it to your list whenever you got everything up and running.
That would
Love
be.
that. All those groups are so in need right now.
Thank you. We're
I guess even a place to chat with veterans and just where you can just be yourself. We've also got a Discord coming, and we can have private chat rooms with group. So that if you wanted to have a veterans from here, purely veterans, then we can sort that out and arrange that. But we just wanted to do.
Yeah.
And there's a bit of a tie-in. There's a nonprofit that I launched a long time ago, and then I got swept up to be a chef for the 49ers, and it kind of went the back burner. Called Epiphany Mountain, and it's to help entrepreneurs in economically challenged areas. And now everything's an economically challenged area. But that has a element for veterans as well, with a bunch of veterans resources with starting businesses. So that's going to be tied in as well. We just need to put all the pieces together as we try and rebuild the mainstay of the business. But please, any help you can give, we would appreciate it. I absolutely love your opinion and your fire, and a little bonus with the sprinkling in from down south. So it's right to my heart. Thank you.
I definitely will do. Yeah, Discord's the place right now. Too many pages are getting hit for some dumb shit, and so yeah, definitely a great idea. And I'll get some names over there as soon as y'all get up and running. This won't be the last you've seen of me.
Good. Looking forward to it. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much, Divine.
Welcome to the Revolution Washington family. So we consider ourselves to be a family, a community.
Yeah, welcome to the family for sure. From the Louisiana roots to my Jersey heart, now enjoying California. Kind of coast to coast here. We try and a big hug from coast to coast. So thank you for being here. Welcome to the family. Look forward to talking to you again soon, Divine.
Love it. I'm gonna drop back down.
All right, hon. Take care. Have a good day.
Have a good evening.
All right. Well, that's we're getting there. We're getting there. There's it's
very interesting to have the opinion of someone that has knowledge,
yeah,
and the experience. I thought it was invaluable. I'm glad she came up.
absolutely. Thank you so much. And this is the thing, and this is I think the most important part of where we are as a country. We all love our country. We all love, I think the struggles have put us more empathetic to the rest of the world. And I think that we didn't have before as a country. So I believe that's a big bonus that this douche nugget brought to us, whether we liked it or not. And the ability to recognize the negatives in government and how it could be misused, I think is a universal lesson these days too. But all right. Wow.
It was great.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And like you say, it's very difficult to know what's truth in the news or not. So to actually have someone with the experience and knowledge was really great. I do hope she comes up again.
Oh, she absolutely will. Oh, thank you, Dave. Thank you very much. And I always kind of, just for the hell of it, I go back onto the White House website and all that, and it looks like they redid it again. Everything's condensed. Every page has one paragraph, and that's about it.
Wow.
He has dumbed down live news. Stay tuned. We'll be live again shortly. Everything's been dumbed down to like single paragraphs. So, wow. Fact sheet just released yesterday. President Donald Jackass Trump announces billions in new deals investments to power American mining. Yes, because the mines are what we need to go back to. Department of War investing in $85 million into Standard bauxite to secure supply chain refractory grade bauxite to support manufacturing of high temperature resistant materials to make critical components for our war fighters. They're trying. And good old Donnie's rare earth minerals. I'm so glad that all of these new programs can be funneled through a Trump family business. What a wonderful thing. I'm glad we got rid of that damn Biden crime family and how they were milking all the government out all the money.
What happened? The mineral deal with Ukraine, did that go by the by, or do they still have the right to have their minerals?
After Donald Trump just made another deal with them for weapons, preferably defensive weapons, Patriot missiles, weapons batteries, and then they got screwed out of most of them. Oh, wow, there's the guy I ran into in the airport the other day, a couple of weeks ago. Right there, that one. When I came back from New Jersey, this guy I bumped into in the airport. He worked for me a long, long time ago, so we talked about old times. Yeah, Johnny Resnick, the Goo Goo Dolls, very cool guy, but worked for me with the Goo Goo Dolls. I hired the Goo Goo Dolls a long time ago. But anyway, I just looked up and I saw his face next to mine. I'm like, oh, he's so nice. But it's when he made the promise recently, when Zelensky was in with Donnie, that we're talking last week. The deal was, because America is running out of all its weapons, most of its weapons, they needed drones to defend American, blah, 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 which is funny that they went to him for drones because, Don Jr. and Eric own a drone company. That surprised me. So that they went to Ukraine for drones when family business owns the drone company. But he gave him all the drones for his side of the bargain. And then when Trump was supposed to reciprocate and give, the tit for tat, the tat was seriously diminished. And there's no, Zelensky made a speech and said that it was seriously diminished, I think was the term he used. The amount was seriously, deficient or something like that. In other words, he got screwed. And we heard that from Zelensky after we heard that Russia launched one of the biggest attacks they ever launched.
Yeah.
Because
they need those to beat them back.
Because they knew they didn't get the defensive weapons. Because they knew Donald Trump wasn't going to
keep his word.
Yes, because Donald Trump is still, and I've said it from the beginning, working with Vladdy very, very closely. So if you look at every corner of how this is all being manipulated, and you look at Gaza, and you look at, the way Iran is being run, and all the bullshit ceasefires, and all the things that Trump makes announcements on and then cashes in on the ramifications of those announcements, you'll start seeing very, very clearly that every single thing he does has money attached to it, has his family attached to it, or has screwing over the American public attached to it. That's my rant, and I'm sticking to it.
Ironic that the Republicans were so up in arms when they thought Hunter Biden had those, is it $55,000 from the company that he was on the board of?
Yeah, Burisma.
And what his family had enriched themselves. It's total hypocrisy.
All right, this is all right, Kosam Sultan. Hey, how you doing? How you doing, Kosam? Just had a couple of interesting what will happen when justice comes to America. Here's the thing, buddy. And then we know that the whole world is uniting against Israel, and that means they are also against America. Here's the thing. Okay. I hope it's known because coming from most of Iran's posts and most of the things from the multiple channels that I get information from directly from Iran, I'm glad that they see a separation between a majority of Americans hating this man too, and a majority of Americans not wanting to be anywhere part of this war. If we know that Spain, Brazil, Netherlands, and here's the thing. And yes, they should file charges against Donald Trump and everyone involved in this. They absolutely should. And the ICC has charges against the both of them. The ICC has arrest warrants against the both of them. That's why we're noticing that Marco Rubio and Donald Jackass are talking smack about the ICC. And all of that we agree with. Qasem, I hope I'm Qasem. I hope I'm pronouncing that wrong. No disrespect if I'm not. But we agree Donald Trump should be prosecuted for war crimes because he has committed war crimes. We agree that Pete Hegseth, Marco Rubio, every single person involved in the decision-making process to do what's been done should be prosecuted for every crime they commit. The American public, most of us want that. Most of us are right there with you 100%. The ones who aren't are pretty much the ones who still back Trump and everything he says. No, it's not okay killing people at all. And that's why we're trying to stop him too. We are trying to stop him just as bad as you guys are trying to stop him. And by the way, I'm following you, by the way, Qasem. It's this platform, Revolution Washington Network, the Across the Pond show, this platform is about discussion and understanding where people stand as human beings, not as Americans, not as world citizens. We are all in this together. We are all in this together. And we don't like what he's doing at all. A majority of this country hate his ass. So please, on behalf of true Americans, understand we are with you. We think he does deserve all the best of war crime punishment. I believe to a letter of the laws, the Republicans that voted for merging the military, and even though it's not through yet, have all committed treason right out in the open. I believe they have committed treason by the definition. Thank you, Veteran 51. Thank you very much. And I got your 6. Thank you, sir. I got yours too. This is what it's all about, because from my experience 23 years ago, Americans are very friendly. Every country has its share of over-the-top racism, evil people. We hope those people don't get the power to affect other countries. We hope those people don't lie their way, steal their way, cheat their way into office where they can affect countries on an economic, on a social level, on a cultural level. We pray that we don't have anyone representing us that doesn't represent us. That's kind of the internal struggle of the United States in my eyes. That's why politics is so anger-filled. It never should have been. Do Ted's copper wig Warren? Yeah, I love the wigs he wore. But here's the thing that I think all this pain has brought the world, and Anna and I talk about this all the time, is it has brought an awareness to the human beings in other countries that are affected by this schmuck. It has brought everyone to an awareness that no matter what happens, this pain is universal. And we care about seeing innocent people slaughtered. We didn't like it when Bibi did it. We didn't like it when America I didn't like how this country was stolen from natives, from the indigenous people. I have an issue with that because that's a fact. This country's not perfect. But when you have an imperfect country that has to learn stuff along the way, like every country does, and you have someone with pure evil intentions that partner up with people like Bibi, Benjamin Netanyahu, and Vladimir Putin, and Little Kim and all these evil people all over the world, it further amplifies any mistake that was ever made. You know what I mean? And I truly, truly believe this is going to cause an entire world reset. And I believe a majority of this world, including Iranians, including Jewish people in Israel that don't mind living next to Palestinians, will help it go back to. I think Israel's gone after this. I really think Israel's gone. I think, like you said, the whole entire world is after Israel now. I think Israel has been exposed to who they are. The IDF and the Zionists have been exposed. They can't hide behind the Bible anymore. They can't hide behind Germany anymore. They have been exposed. And Donald Trump has been exposed for the piece of crap he is. That's what I believe. And I think all this pain worldwide and all the people joining forces to protect Zelensky, to protect Gaza, to protect, and now Iran, and now, I think all of that's gonna come to a head and fix a whole lot. That's what I think.
Interesting. I saw a video today where they were talking about Trump becoming a Jew 2 years ago. And apparently, it was his daughter which persuaded him to take the courses and become a Jew. That's never been talked about in American news or anything, but I've seen lots of videos where they're saying this is the first Jewish American president.
Well, you also have them lining up to kiss the ring, including Fetterman the other day. He literally kissed Bibi's on his freaking knees and said in front of Bibi. The New Jersey in me wanted to, Jersey girl, you're gonna know. 5 minutes alone, just 5 minutes alone. Give me 5 minutes alone with him and the Trump kids. And screw it, throw in Pete Hegseth and Cross-Eyed Magoo in the same room with me at the same time. I have no problem. More than half of them out. Sorry, it's the disgust that I feel towards these people is just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Right, Jersey? Blanket party, Jersey. Blanket party. Now,
No.
right. Now it's now. Do you want to bring someone else up? I know Spicy's been was itching to get up. Yeah, I got your back too, Dave. I got your back. Can you help me? You can help me with a lot. If I appreciate everybody that supports Revolution Washington Network and across the pond. I appreciate everyone who comes into the lives and sends gifts and everything else. TikTok has been targeting me in a vicious way for a long time. So if it's possible that that you can help in different ways, follow on other platforms. Please follow on not only YouTube but also Substack, Chatter Social. And also, all over the place. We are all over the place. And if you can, Venmo, Cash App, all of that, it's all Revolution Washington. It all's the same place, and you'll see either my ugly mug or the logo of the company. But the independent content creators now are under an extreme level of attack. And it is one of those things that we can't do anything about. We have to just keep going, keep talking, keep making more accounts as these go down, But I thank each and every one of you for keep chasing us and chasing me. So thank you very much.
Don't forget the GoFundMe.
Oh, and the GoFundMe. Yes, that's right. There's also a GoFundMe out there. The way they attack us as people are every way possible, because right now is the most important time for us to speak up. Coming up to the midterms, this is how most of us are going to be getting our news, which is really sad and really scary and really sorry. But the fact of the matter is we are being lied to in every step of the way, from the White House to the Nazi Ken doll in charge of our military. We need to recognize that. Thank you very much. We need to recognize that that's our new reality. And we are in a spot where we have one of the last possible chances to fix this whole damn thing. And the best possible chance to fix this whole damn thing is these midterms. So if you know people who didn't vote and you know people who are pissed off about how things are going, that's when you look them in the eye and say, I'm driving your ass to vote. And you make sure they vote. This is the time. This is the time to fix it.
And with that also being said, seek out the senior citizens that are actually being hit really hard. I have been doing that because they're complaining. I don't know. I never had to pay for this before. I don't know where I'm going to get the money. Well, you need to register to vote, and you need to vote. Well, how do I do that? Help them.
Yes, it's very.
Get them registered to vote, and if you have to take them, take them.
Absolutely. Any friends or neighbours who have got a right, help them out and take them.
Now, I need to say we've got Suzanne Summers in the chat, and rest her soul, but I love the name. And yes, lots of smiles from Miss Suzanne Summers. As long as you got that thigh master that doesn't smack you in the face, that's a funny little thing. You remember that? All right. Now.
I bring up a comment that Angel has written. Angel.
Yes, food for thought.
She's saying she's agreeing that the TikTok are stopping video.
Yep.
And you know more than anybody how to it is to post.
I'd say 50% end up going up, sometimes less. And every time I try and put up 3 or 4, I'll get CV'd or they'll just be deleted out. Like they'll go up and then they'll be deleted. It won't be like, it's like I never uploaded them. And then I'll take like 1 or 2 seconds off the front of it to see if it looks like another video. And I'll try and post it without any tags, without any hashtags or anything. And it'll still get, so join the Hangout. What's the Hangout? I don't know what the Hangout is. What's up, Paradise? But guys, it is important that we do have to make sure that we get the midterms just all blue. This son of a bitch started a subscription service for insider information. He literally $100,000 a month to pay for press briefings, tariff announcements, and whatever decisions that are made that affect stock markets. They get briefings if they pay $100,000 a month. That's a real thing. That's a real thing. He just released. Yeah.
He'll be charging for the air you breathe next.
He has a club called the Executive Branch. The Executive Branch is $500,000 a year. There's apparently a line around the block for it every day. And it's basically the sales pitch is come in and hang out with lawmakers, even the president. And it's a club. It's the Sun's Own. They launched that when he first got in office. Yeah, it's all about the Benjamins as it's, hey, you know what? That's even more true. You guys know that it's all about the Benjamins. Yeah, that fits Trump in 2 different ways because Benji loves how he thinks that way. All about the Benjamins.
I got an idea. How about we all go ahead and sign up and tell him that we'll give him $100,000, but he has to give us all the information first. Then we just don't pay him like he didn't pay everybody else.
Yeah, but he doesn't fall for his own stuff though. Yeah, the noise trick. I get that a lot, Angel. I get a lot of when I'll do a recording and then I won't add any sound to it, and I'll watch the video and it's like, what the hell? And you can't hear a word. Yeah. Join this live. Oh, cool. Interesting, Paradise. They're doing a lot of weird stuff on this now, and the new algorithms are really, really just ridiculous. But yeah. I think as long as we remember that no matter what happens, we can we'll make it through this. I mean, we will make it through this. We're on to most of the ways that they bullshit with this stealing the election interference stuff. The stuff they're trying to do is so out in the open, no one can deny it or hide from it anymore. Like even his own people, when they look at things, can't go, yeah, that's kind of messing with the election. Say, what was that? Oh, your guy's messing with the election again. You know, I mean, Trump himself came out and said, here's the proof. This is the proof. Everyone messed with the election. If you see in 2020, it was Russia and China. They didn't do anything in 2016. It's like, dude, shut it. It's like him saying the ICC's not, they're not going after the ICC to protect him. They're going after the ICC to protect Benji. It's all about the Benjamins. But yeah, it's like guilt trip, you know. How do you say you're guilty as hell without saying you're guilty as hell? Just let Trump speak. It'll all come out. Holy crap. All right. I'm telling you. What's that?
Is there anybody else that would like to pop up into the box?
Taylor Swift did to him. Oh, yes. Taylor Swift.
Oh, come on. I can't be alone up here.
Yeah. Who else is now? Spicy Sausage wanted to come up earlier, and then when I went to bring up Spicy, wasn't there. So I'll see if Spicy wants to still come up and talk. But yeah, there's been a lot. I mean, there's this guy is every freaking week it comes. There's Do you know 972? This was announced this week. This is more election stuff, by the way. 972. All right. Armed security guards will be deployed at 54 different mail facilities. 972 private security guards that are armed under contract to the government will be at 54 mail facilities. So yeah, this is yeah, it's not going to end, people. It is not going to end. We need to make sure we beat him at all sides for this, because it's I hear Lulu, and we've got let's see what else happened. Well, Trump's gold statues. We know about the gold statues and $5.1 million. It came out this week that Trump collected, hey, Germany redo. That's exactly it, Thomas. That's exactly it, my friend. That's exactly it. But this time, you know, the country itself, the majority doesn't want it and is hopefully fighting back enough to stop it. There's like these little tiny news flash things that come up, and there's little interesting nuggets. And there was something about the number of children that were unalived by the Nazis. Do you realize there was 127 per day in Auschwitz that were unalived? 127. Israel unalives 178 per day in Gaza.
Wow.
Interesting little fact. Just saying.
And no arms?
And those are the ones that are counted. And the rule in Gaza, Israel, when they give credit for a unaliving, is if they can be identified and if they're in one piece. If they're not, they don't exist. Then they go to the allegedly. Did you know that Israel owns the largest human skin bank and organ bank in the world? Israel, in the world. They have the largest human skin bank and the largest human organ bank in the entire world. Now, I've got a question, because Jewish people don't really do the whole donating of bodies thing. It's kind of against their religion, isn't it? They got the largest one in the world. Just saying. Just saying. I'm telling you, They have been exposed in so many ways. In so many ways for the disgust. That's where Trump got his new ear. I don't think they had one big enough or orange enough. But yeah, there's yeah. Uh-huh. They have been exposed so much. There is no way in hell, in my eyes, that they meaning the country itself of Israel, the chosen country. Yeah, there's no way. No way. I think China has said it over and over again. And the fact that they keep showing the map of Palestine and saying, this is what it's going back to, I really think that's what's going to happen. I want to say that on every live because I want people to just have hope. Just have hope. Because like he was saying, like my friend was saying, is that the entire world puts Israel in that in the war crimes category and puts us as a complicit partner. And he's right. He was absolutely right. It does make us complicit. You know, it really does. And that's something that we need to recognize. That comes with the territory of this schmuck being a. What's up, Tony? How you doing, Tony?
Hello. How are you?
Good. Hanging in there. Hanging in there.
If you can hear me, I got a thing in my ear.
Yeah, that's pretty loud. This is the. Yeah, you got a lot of background noise there, man. You having a party?
Wait a second, I'm having trouble hearing you.
Yeah, there's a lot of background noise. Hey, Melanie, how are you?
I can just about hear you.
Can you turn down the background noise at all? The microphone's blasting it through. No one in the chat. They're like, we can't hear.
There we go. That might be better for me.
Yeah, it's the TV that people are hearing. They're not hearing your voice. They're hearing the TV, Tony. But
Wait a second.
yeah, if you could turn down the TV, that would be great. Just for a little bit. There's a lot. Oh, perfect. Thank you. Yeah, everyone's wanting to hear your voice, brother. They want to hear your voice. The TV sound is taking over. I think the microphones are more prone to pick up background noise. Because when I try and put music in the background, it comes out a lot louder than I think it is.
I gotta buy a microphone to wear.
Yes, there you go. Yeah, we're getting there, brother.
We're using the phones.
There you go. So how you doing, man? What do you think of all this craziness? Is this driving you as crazy as it's driving the rest of us? What's up, Georgia Bulldog? There you go. Hey, there you are, man. Good to see your face. How you doing, brother?
Pretty good.
You hanging in there?
I just got back from my shower.
There you go. That works.
Yes.
Is this stuff driving you as crazy as it's? I mean, I see your posts and all that. Is it driving you as crazy as it's driving everyone else, or?
Yes, it does drive me crazy. Yes, very much so.
What state are you in, Tony? You're in Jersey still, or?
Me, I'm in Florida.
In Florida.
I've been living here in Florida now for a while.
Right on. You get to, yeah. That's. What's that, Anna?
I think it's still a background noise.
Yeah.
Background noise of me?
Yeah. It's something with the TV. I think it's picking up the microphone on the phone is very sensitive. So it'll pick up any electronic stuff. Or dogs barking in the background like mine. There you go.
All right, that's better. I
They-
shut the background on the TV off.
Oh, there you go, buddy. There you go. It's
Did that.
yeah, it seems like no matter what happens, most of Trump's stuff is going to show itself soon. Like it's like he can't hide it like he used to. You know what I
Sooner or
mean?
later, it just backfires and comes back.
Exactly.
Really, that's what happened with him. I
Exactly.
mean, he was always known with the casino industry, big time.
Yeah. And I mean
Boy,
there
did he screw up in the casino industry.
I love how all of that's coming out now too. I love the fact that all of his casino.
Not many people know about his casino screw ups.
Oh yeah, they're learning though. They're absolutely learning.
All
That's
you have to do is just go on to Why Altitude.
Yeah.
Good research in there.
there's a website called TrumpFiles.org, and
Oh, I'll have to try it.
it literally goes all the way back to the beginning, like Trump's born, Trump's working for his dad.
Yes.
And it goes
Yes.
through every single thing he's done. It's almost every. It's fantastic.
Casino years.
Yeah, it has the casino. It has his daughter. It has his. Yeah, it has a lot of stuff, Tony. A lot of stuff. Ne-
I mean, I worked in Atlantic City during some of his casino years that he was in it. But his Taj Mahal was doomed from the start.
Oh God, yeah.
That was doomed.
Oh God, yeah. He screwed everybody. He screwed everybody with the Taj Mahal.
You'll see all his businesses that he runs them into the ground. Then he's got to claim bankruptcy on the businesses afterwards.
Yeah,
And that's it.
absolutely.
That's his thing there is going bankrupt.
There's now Heather just posted. Trump clearly has frontal temporal dementia. He has all of the symptoms. Confabulation is one of them. It's
Yes,
he's
you can see it.
absolutely,
You can see it. Really, it shows.
absolutely.
It shows.
That's the part that I think is waking up a lot of his followers. Is
His
all
follower, yeah.
all the stuff they were talking about Joe is coming to life in their little orange turd pedo.
Ever since he was president the first time, you could watch the decline happen over the past 10 years.
Absolutely,
His health
no
has
doubt
really
about it.
declined. Big time.
Absolutely. Now we have Lulu. I love Lulu.
In pain tonight.
Hey, she's just keeping everybody up. His gait and leaning forward are also symptoms. Yes, Heather. I was wondering, isn't there something also the side to side walking and all that other stuff? It's.
Understand that.
I can.
Look at his one before.
Yeah. And when he got off and meeting with Putin in Alaska, when he was just back at like from one side to the other, he couldn't he walks the line like you would in the middle of the night with a flashlight going behind you saying heel to toe. Man, he'd be screwed. He tried to do heel to toe. Yeah, worm brain moron. Yes, Sandy, I like that. Oh yes, JFK Jr. He's my favorite. Measles uptick is a COVID. Oh God, this, in a way, the amount of idiocy in his cabinet it's not just indicative of him as a human being, but it's making being able to spot the bullshit so much easier. You know what I mean? It's right. It's making it a lot easier. It's like he doesn't have people smart enough to hide anything. That's
I mean, RFK Jr. was not the person for that spot.
no, none of them are. We've got reality TV show idiots. We've got Scott Bassett.
Yes.
We got there can't be a more.
Watching The Apprentice right now.
Oh, there you go. Oh yeah, that movie. You're watching the movie or the series?
I'd like to see that series. That must be good.
Yeah,
No, I'm just saying, I'm not watching it for real. I'm saying that's what he thinks he's doing now in The Apprentice TV show in the White House.
That's it. Well, did you hear, Anna, did you hear what they used to do for Trump's father when he was going through it? Because he had dementia too. They
Yes, he did.
actually
Yes, very bad.
they actually had to, they built him a fake office that he went to work and pretended to work every day, but everything was disconnected.
Yes, he did. Yes.
I think that's an idea. I think his jail cell should have the stainless steel toilet with a little tiny mini desk in front of it. That's what I think. You know, Angel threw away the box set of The Apprentice. I used to like that show. I mean, you know, only because the whole business thing, and I like Shark
I
Tank.
watched that.
Yeah,
Apprentice was one season only, and it was because of who he had on there. It was Joan Rivers and his daughter.
yeah.
My mother said she'd like to see. She said I'd like to watch Joan Rivers win over Donald Trump.
Yeah.
She
Oh,
did. She
yeah.
did.
I liked Joan Rivers. She's funny as hell.
Yes.
You know, and now.
I very briefly met her one time when I worked in the casino.
Oh, there you
Nice
go.
person she was.
Oh, yeah. That's what I've heard. Yeah, there is. Anna, what are you thinking what are you thinking with the resolution to all this stuff?
You don't know. I would just take him out. That's what I want to say. But
Yeah.
that's my own thinking. I just wanted to tell you again. Next Thursday is the big election in the UK. Farage against the bin man. And there's now 36 other parties that have enrolled, and they're all crazy parties. It's just
Really?
going to be a shit show. What I'll do on Thursday night coming up to Friday,
Okay.
I'll do a live and show you the results.
And I'll tell you, for anybody who's never seen a results of a English election, it is fascinating. Count Binface, I hope Count Binface wins. I think I watched one of the elections, one of the results, and I was fascinated by it. The woman who won is a plumber. And just the way that I love the way, and I speak about this often, the way that Europe, that England in particular, does their elections, the process. I think it's so cut and dry. It's just brilliant, and it's so simple. And there's not a lot of BS that can happen, you know, as far as messing with it. And when this woman won, it was
by the other countries.
right. It's right after 35 days of an election cycle. And on the 36th day, she started work. They start work. And she had to, in her speech, tell her plumbing customers that, well, I won't be at work for a while. And I think that's just brilliant. And I think that would, Jersey Girl said she'd love to see it. We'll do it. We'll get the time of the election and the results on Thursday. We'll get the time of the results.
About 3 o'clock in the morning, my time, which will be 8 o'clock Pacific time
Yep.
and 10 o'clock Eastern time.
And that will be a special edition of Across the Pond. We will do that to show you all how that's done. It's fantastic, and they have parties that are just. I love it. What was the Raving Loony Party?
Raving Loony Party.
Those are the ones that I noticed, and they have like funky hats, and I mean, like Dr. Seuss meets, you know, in Alice in Wonderland. You know, it was one of those things. Is it this Thursday?
Thursday.
Like tomorrow? Tomorrow or the next Thursday? Today.
Tomorrow is Sunday.
Oh yeah. All right. This Thursday coming up. You see what happens, people? I'm fried. All right. So this Thursday coming up. Okay. This Thursday coming up. So it's this Thursday coming up, and we'll do it at, you said 8 o'clock Pacific time.
10 o'clock Eastern time.
Okay.
That's when the results should come through. But remember, guys, look for the bin man.
Yes.
Count Binface. And they were doing some interviewing in Can't see the constituency today.
Right.
And people were going, yep, I'm going to vote
Absolutely.
I really hope that he does win.
Absolutely. Well, what we should do is we'll put up the announcement. We'll put a picture of Binman and Faraj with the and that'll be the announcement. Come see it live, and we'll release that as well. We do have another show before then, so we'll remind everybody on that. That will be on Wednesday, and
It's the
13th, Jersey Girl, 13th, and it's yeah. So we'll do that, and we'll go on like an hour before it comes up, and we'll talk about the different stuff, and you could give us a rundown on everything. Francesca Hong for governor of Wisconsin. Tuesday, vote blue, folks. Yes, Sandy, absolutely. Blue all the way across the board. Everything. And worldwide, the people are jumping to the anti-Trump candidates too. You know, and I'm happy with that. It's shared pain. Everyone's in pain from this dude, so everyone's trying not to allow anything similar to him to come in, and I'm all for that. Spicy. How you doing, Spicy Sausage?
Good. I mean, how are you?
Upright and breathing, man. Upright and breathing. How's everything been going?
Well, just bouncing from live getting banned.
I know how that goes, man. I know how that goes. Now, what's your position on all this crazy? What's your position on Trump thin skin and all this? You're all good, Anthony. You're all good. What do you?
I'm sorry.
Where are you on where Trump stands on this on Iran and on all the stuff he's doing in the White House? Are you for or against?
I'm sorry. Give me 2 minutes. Let me just get these kids out.
There's yes, and what was that? And Anna, you were going to say something with Spain and Italy and
yes. But what happened, you might have seen on the news. Countries in EU. Once you're in one European country, you can go to all the European countries. So Italy got a bit angry about this, and they said, that's it, we're not accepting anybody into our country who does not have the correct documentation and is not a proper European. So then Spain got upset, and they said, that's it, we're not allowing any Italians into our country. So you have Spain and Italy going on about it now. It's quite funny. I mean, I was watching Melania the other day. Oh, I love her. She's so, where she talks, she's so emphatic and is so pro-Italy, everything she does. So that's the situation going on now between Spain and Italy.
well, that's insane. That's just absolutely insane. There's I don't know what the hell's going on with that. I don't know what happened to Spicy. There's the hell.
Yes, Ginger, trucks, they did. And it was just incredible.
It's I don't know what I don't know what's. Yeah, now is it getting more and more harsh as far as here we go. Does it seem like the whole immigration thing? I know in Europe and all that stuff, especially in England, immigration's
huge. And we're not reacting like you guys do. You seem to value your immigrant and sort of help them. Here.
Not anymore.
yeah, not anymore.
Oh, yeah, well, I don't know.
I mean, wasn't that the whole point of Brexit, though? Brexit, they didn't want the immigrants that were coming from Ukraine or otherwise, which again was a U.S. conflict caused immigration crisis, just like we have in South America and everything else.
Yeah.
These are U.S. caused immigration crises.
Now what?
They
Now
don't happen spontaneously. They don't happen in a vacuum. This is not like a random star exploding in our universe. These are directly impacted by the decisions of U.S. foreign policy. And we all, as taxpayers from whatever country you happen to live in, are the ones who are paying the price. And for who? For who? If I were to tell you that the United States, two political parties, are governed and controlled by corporations, I don't think you would disagree with that.
No, I don't.
So then we have to look at U.S. foreign policy as well. U.S. foreign policy is a direct correlation from the U.S. foreign policy to how it impacts us, not just UK citizens, Denmark citizens, Norway citizens, or United States citizens, Canadian citizens. We are directly impacted by these decisions. And I think
We call it the upper 1%.
Well, now what do you see? What do you see as far as the correlation with the U.S. Policies directly impacting other countries when the policies of the U.S. has changed, obviously based on who's in control. I mean, and it goes more drastic. Obviously, now we have the most drastic we've ever seen in our lifetimes.
I mean, not really, not foreign policy.
What's that?
Not really, not foreign policy.
Well,
Foreign policy, no, it's just gotten exponentially worse. So, like with George Bush launched the illegal wars in Iraq and Afghanistan,
Right.
and then Barack Obama took us from 2 wars to 7. He took Bush's drone program, multiplied it by 4. Turns out that the civilian death rate from Obama's drone program turned out to be something like 90%. And then from Obama, it went to Trump, who, again, and even under Obama, here's the funny thing. Under Obama, he tried to dial it back just a teeny tiny bit. Even after he was like, you know what, I did enough in Yemen and Syria and Libya and everything else, even though we were still launching regime change wars without ever declaring it.
Right.
Like, Obama tried to dial it back a little bit in Ukraine by going, hey, maybe we should pass a law so that we shouldn't, send weapons and arms to neo-Nazis in Ukraine. And they're like, and John McCain and Chris Murphy and everybody still showed up in Ukraine. They're like, no, let's not do that. They still sent them arms and weapons. And
now you're talking about Ukraine before Russia, or you're talking about the right.
Yeah, the United States was the catalyst for that.
All right.
Again, just like global conflict everywhere, the United States is the catalyst for that. As the U.S., as the global imperial power, we are the catalyst for most things.
Okay.
I know it's I know you're like smirking at it because like you. Can't
I'm going through all these things in my mind and drawing lines that go back to the United States. I can see a lot of the U.S. being a catalyst in one way or another because we starve out different countries like Cuba and stuff like that, which creates
What is the reason why that we starve out Cuba?
That got me.
I mean, if they're a communist society and we think communism is eventually going to fail, then don't even bother to sanction them. Just let them fail. Let them fail on their own. If capitalism is so great and communism leads to inevitable death, starvation, corruption, or otherwise, then just let them fail. There's no reason to even sanction them. Just let their economic model fail.
Well, unless there's.
But the reality is they know that socializing natural resources, much like they did in Venezuela under Hugo Chavez after the Bolivarian Revolution in South America, actually led to great successes for the working class in those countries. And if socialism is so bad, then you should just let it fail. Let it fail on the economic global marketplace. Just let it fail. But they won't. They can't allow that. Because the American people might start to realize that the things that other countries have like universal health care, universal child care, universal free college, will no longer be able to fund if we provide those things for our citizens that most other modern countries have. Then all of a sudden we can't maintain 800 military bases around the world. We can't maintain a military industrial complex that spends trillions of dollars a year on new weaponry, new ships, new planes, new everything that don't actually benefit the American working class in any meaningful way.
Right.
The moment the people realize that, they might start to realize that both the Democrats and the Republicans are kind of in on the game, and the game is already, it's cooked. It's a cooked board, man. Like, you're not able to like voting harder for one party or the other. That's not going to do anything for you.
So from your perspective, you say either side is going to be inevitable demise.
I mean, let me put it this way. Out of 193 countries on this planet, the U.S. military pollutes more than the top 20 planets. Or, I'm sorry, the top 20 countries on this planet. The U.S. military alone pollutes more. And it's not like just the carbon or the CO2 release. Even if you just accounted for CO2, sure. But we are burning like horrible, like viscous chemicals that would destroy the life of
Right.
the lungs of a bird that flew through that plume of smoke, or otherwise anything else. Like, it is the United States military and its militarism. The idea that we drop bombs somewhere in another country and oh yeah, we bombed them for a while, no big deal. No, you can't grow plants there.
Right.
But just because you were bombed 4 years ago, there's a radioactive, half-life taking place there in the soil.
Right.
You can't just go there and rebuild.
Right.
It doesn't happen.
Right. Exactly. I agree.
The people of the United States are so ignorant to these ideals because we just talk so casually.
Yeah.
About destroying the lives of people overseas.
I agree with that. It's and not to mention, I don't see us as the ultimate in the evil, but there was a recent speech by his name escapes me. It talks about the three biggest devils, the three biggest evils, and it's the United States, Russia, and Israel. And I don't see the United States as evil for the most part. I see certain people getting in office that used powers for mainly good in some ways, and then other groups mainly bad. I see a mix of both, obviously, but I don't see America as the number one or two devil. I think there's a lot of good that's done through America when things are done right, but there's a lot of I don't think we should have bases all over the world. I think we should have what we need, but we really it's not necessary. I don't think it's necessary to always be picking fights. But if you're talking about a country that spends its time starting wars, I don't see anyone worse at that than Israel. I mean, they've been literally launching wars since the year after they got into Palestine. I think their first one was 1949, their first little, and they've been going consistently ever since. I think the partnership and the backing of Israel by the United States is probably one of the gotcha sucker type of things that have happened. But the dedication that many of these people have it's not really American to me. It's not really American to me. I think we should not have any lawmakers saying Israel first. I think they should automatically be fired, lose their job, and probably be, that's traitor. That's traitor shit right there. 100%.
I saw his speech the other day when he said, you've got to Israel.
No,
We
you
have
don't.
to love them more.
No,
Why
you
do
don't.
You are the president of the United States, and you're advocating to love another country.
He's putting
To me, it's it's
the freaking
Abraham.
the thing you hear most out of everything, the Abraham Accord, the Abraham Accord, the Abraham Accord. What that is under all circumstances, be nice to Israel. That's what the Abraham Accord is. It's we promise to let Israel basically get away with whatever they want, never say anything mean. There's 35 states in this country that have laws on the books that if you speak negatively about Israel, you lose all your state funding, you lose your government contracts, you lose this benefit, that benefit. If you say something negative on social media about Israel, like right now, Israel sucks and they're freaking evil. See that? If I was a state-run thing, I'd lose. Well, I'm in California. We don't have that law. But and now seeing Israeli flags go up on American properties and commercial properties is infuriating the hell out of a lot of diehard MAGA people that America, and they look up and they see the Israeli flags. They're not happy about that, no matter how many hats they own. No matter.
So what happened to America First?
There is none, not with them. It was just a slogan, like "Make America Great Again," which I believe came from "Make Germany Great Again." You know, I don't know.
Under other presidents, I have never seen such pro-Israel activity or feeling.
Yeah,
It's always started with Trump. And we know it started with Trump because of his connections.
I need to specify something for Tim Geyer. Enough said. You're from California. I'm actually from Jersey, dude. I just live in California. I grew up around Trump's bullshit. I grew up around Trump's bullshit family. And I grew up around the cons that family has perpetrated, that little orange pedophile diaper-filling shitstorm's life. That's what I grew up around, with legal background and growing up in a law office, reading files of people that he screwed out of millions and millions of dollars and seeing the evidence with my own little eyes. I grew up running nightclubs that dipshit used to go to, the same type of club, like the Kit Kat Club, helping out over there where John Casablanca would bring in hookers from other countries and set them up with, like Einstein visas for some, Melanie chick. Yeah, that's what I grew up around. So
he's a bot. He's got 19.
Oh, I know. It's just funny. It's
12 followings.
It's just funny the ignorance level.
What they don't know is that our host Mike had personal dealings with him. He's not just talking from research, reading books or papers. He actually has had true interactions with the guy.
A couple dozen of them to be,
So I
think we should be,
well, just
understanding that he's not talking shit. He's talking from experience.
Well, it's just growing up in Jersey, growing up with the people around me that know this douche nugget and having the interactions with them that I've had. And it's just when you're in the club circuit and you're in the top of the club circuit, you hear all the stuff from the other clubs. You hear about what certain people do. You get to know a lot of the dirty dealings behind the scenes, and you get to know them firsthand because you're introduced to these people. You're introduced to their scams. You meet the women who could barely speak English, who, as long as they could land a husband, you firsthand stuff. And when you start looking at things through the lens of reality of who this man is as a human being, the things that he's been doing in office is no surprise whatsoever. Like, no surprises. Like, everything this guy does, well, of course he did that. He's that type of freaking guy. He's, he was known to love young girls. He was known to love young boys. And he was known to try and screw everybody out of every dime he possibly can. When they redid the Woolman Rink in New York City, the Woolman Rink's the one you see in movies and stuff when they're ice skating around New York and you see all the buildings and it's got like, you know, trees and stuff and yeah, all that stuff. And there was a big thing to renovate the Woolman Rink. And you can look this up. And he came up with this big thing. I'm going to be the hero. I'm going to renovate. Blah, blah, blah. And of course, to donate, to do it, so he had to donate. So he took the credit and said he's donating. Then he hired all these people to do the work and then never freaking paid them and said it was a donation. And then he sit back and he goes, yes, see what I did? See what I did, though? Let me give you the Woolman Rink. And he didn't do a damn thing nor spend a damn dollar or put any effort whatsoever except getting everyone else to do it for free. Then take credit and say he paid for it all. This man's been a scumbag so long in his life that nothing he does has any ounce of honor, integrity, or honesty to it. When the towers fell down, he didn't do anything but say, well, I guess I have the tallest building now. So
he also said he went down to the site. I was there picking up the stones. I'm thinking, no, you weren't. You know,
he's
saying things are obviously false.
All people need to do is pay attention. That's all they need to do, and they can see right through his bullshit. It's as easy as that. He's not smart enough to have a big cover story. He's too stupid to keep things straight. And it is going to be a happy day for the entire world when his lifetime of Coke, Adderall, McDonald's, KFC, and garbage food catches up to him. Or he just gets prosecuted.
He walks around and he comes out of one of the Trump Tower and he's waving to absolutely nobody.
Everything's.
He's waving at his fans. He's so loved by New Yorkers.
Every single thing that man does is fake. He made a big deal. He won 2 championships at his own club, and it showed him like putting, you know, like a 5-foot putt, and it showed him missing it by like 3 feet, and then he just picked it up and he walked away, didn't even knock it. It's like, dude. And you see him on the when he they had a video of him in front of this big thing that was at his club, and he like goes to swing and he completely misses the ball, but he goes. And then he picks the ball up and walks away. It's like, dude, are you freaking kidding? You own how many golf courses and you still suck? Like, he sucks. This man cannot play freaking golf. He cannot. I'm sorry. But when you have to.
You just look at his stands and you can tell that he don't golf. And I don't golf.
I mean, I can Happy Gilmore golf better than he can regular golf. You know, I was never a great golfer, but I did mess around. Before that movie, I messed around running up to it and hitting it like a hockey player. I did just to see if I could. You know, I did the thing where you throw it up in the air and try and hit it like a baseball. I've done that too, and I got pretty good at it for a while. Doesn't make me an expert golfer, but I never like shanked as bad as he does. I've never been, 100 feet from a pin and hit it behind you. I have seen him do that. I've seen him literally hit a ball that kind of went off to the side and rolled back away from the pin farther from where he started. And I'm like, and this man owns, even if he owned one golf course, he owns a golf course. Be okay at golf. Be at least in the top third. Otherwise, sell the fucking golf course. You don't deserve it.
Just tell you how much I play golf. The first time somebody said to me, well, go ahead, go up and address the ball. I did a Carly Howard. Hello, ball.
Hello, ball. Yeah, Jersey Girl says, I can probably play better than him, and I don't play. If you've done mini putts, if you've done, even those, even the little, oh man, my
Did you
dad.
that video, the caddy that picked up the ball and he dropped it right by the hole.
Yeah, he picked it up and then he walked a couple feet and then dropped it. It's like, oh, your ball's right here, sir. It's like, no, it was way to hell over there, dumbass.
And he still missed it.
Yeah, double. That's the thing is nothing about him is real. I mean, nothing except the fat and the diapers. You know what I mean? That's even the skin tone is fake. The hair is fake. And 215 pounds, 6'4". All right, Jason Momoa. We see right through this. Yeah, the putt. I mean, this man's been 3 feet from a hole and taken 2 swipes, and then he's like, look at the bird, and he picks it up, and it's like,
He's wearing now.
oh yeah, the big pompadour thing. Yeah, he's my hero. Yeah,
Well, he inherited that hair. Did you ever see pictures of his mother?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Exactly what I thought of when I saw that picture.
Yep.
Because she had big hair, oof on the back.
I played putt when I was young. Yeah, Jersey. I'll tell you, I don't know. I've always heard practice makes you better.
Why do you think he spends so much money of ours on the golf course? I mean, he's trying to get better, but it just can't happen.
Kate said straight of hair moose. Absolutely. I like that one. And I saw one with a moose with a Melania and a moose. And it's straight up for moose.
We got a t-shirt there. We definitely got a t-shirt there.
I love that. The straight up whore moose. I love that. And it's straight up hair moose. Absolutely. I think that should be, yeah, we should do all sorts of t-shirts of this.
So what was the one about Melania you were saying?
Oh no, it said there's a meme going around with Melania and a moose right next to her. And straight a whore moose. She's the whore, he's the moose. Yeah, that one.
Oh wow.
It's like someone asked
I definitely see a t-shirt coming out.
So someone asked Donald Trump is like about a hormone. He goes, "Where's Melania?" I told her to shut up. No, it's I thought I heard her.
You know why a whore moans, don't you? You didn't pay her.
And no, I was thinking, you'd buy both of those. There you go. Hey, Jersey Girl, we're putting up a whole bunch more shirts in the yes.
David's that wonderful Kate. There's Kate.
Yes, Kate, we are definitely doing that. We're definitely, yeah. It's a as long as you're spreading the joy, that's all the credit you need. You are bringing it to a new audience, so it's all yours. You own it, Kate. I'm telling you. There's going to be a lot of obnoxious shirts coming soon because my jersey is just boiling over these days. Thank you, Kate. Thank you. You are awesome. This has been a trying time for those of us who see through his shit. But it's been a hopeful time I think, recently, because there's a lot that's being shoved up his orange butt. And I'm very happy for that.
We just got to remember to stay hopeful. And like Mike said earlier, we got to cover each other's backs. We got to do everything rightfully so to make sure we document everything we see.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everything that any shady shit you see.
Right.
But I don't know. I think I'd have to express my Second Amendment right with them having armed security guards at post offices.
Just
I'd have to go there. Okay, you want to play?
Just
Let's
remember, Pennsylvania and Florida are a little different. You got to check those laws and what you're allowed to do with the carry. I don't want you getting in
Actually,
trouble.
In Pennsylvania, you are allowed to carry as long as you have a permit.
I just don't want you